It's time for the nutrition segment. We're going to be talking today about your body and all you need to know about carbohydrates. So those which are good, those which are not so good, how they affect your body in different ways, complex ones, simple ones. We're going to get into all that conversation this morning. Akosua Yadom has joined me on the show. She's a state-registered nutritionist, and she's going to help us to understand, the intricacies of this conversation. Abigail, good morning. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you not Abigail? Why you've been thrown off? Okay, Abigail. Abigail Yadom, how are you doing?
What's that?
Okay.
I'm fine.
Please deny that you are Abigail on air today.
I'm my father's choice.
Okay, all right. So let's get into it. Why are you thrown? It's your name. Okay, so carbohydrates in our bodies. Talk to us. What should we know?
I don't know what to start. Okay, so we need carbs.
Yeah.
And I'll always say that in as much as we think that we don't have to have a lot of starches in there, I'm still starting. Why? Quick. In as much as you don't need a lot of that in there, or in as much as we find people talk about carbohydrate and make carbohydrate look like the devil.
Yeah.
It is very important because our body needs carbs to run. It's a macronutrient, and when we say a macronutrient, it means that it is a bigger nutrient, one of the major ones. We have proteins, we have carbohydrates, we have fats and oils. Those three are responsible for our energy needs. Our brains will need energy. We will need energy. I am talking because I have energy in me. So carbohydrates is very, very important, but if you don't do it well, that's where you have issues. Now, a good carbohydrate meal or a typical carbohydrate, a good one should help you as far as your digestion is concerned. So if what you are taking is affecting you as far as your digestive system or the digestion of whatever you've ingested or eaten is concerned, then it means that there is a reason to be worried. The other one, it has to make you feel full. When you eat, you have to feel full. And if you are eating a food which is very good or has the good carbs or the low carb food which is very healthy, it makes you feel fuller. That's why we ask that you add vegetables to your food. So let's say a typical Ghanaian meal, jollof rice with chicken. You can have some salad on the side and then have, let's say, a glass of watermelon juice. Now, this has everything to do with your calorie count. And I gave those examples because one, the vegetable, or I wish you could show the image because I want to tease people. Kwaku has teased me. I'm angry a little bit. So you can have your jollof rice with chicken and then have your watermelon juice on the side, your plain vegetables. I don't want the dressing in there because we are talking about carbohydrates and we are doing everything we can to make sure we reduce the calorie count of the food, so that at least we can receive something good, because we don't want a lot of the high caloric food in there. So this is something that will pass for a balanced diet, because you have the staple in there, the staple being the carb. And then we have the animal protein in there, we have the vegetables and fruits in there, and then the glass of watermelon juice. So when you lift this food on our screens, the WHO or Ghana Health Service protocol for a healthy or a balanced meal is being satisfied through this meal. So this is how it should be like. Now, a carb food will help you as far as you feeding your brain with energy is concerned, your heart, your kidney. So organs in our bodies will need energy to be able to work properly or function properly, and that is made possible by carbohydrate. But like I said, what you are putting in, we have the complex one, we have the simple ones, we have the glucose, galactose. So the simple, we have the glucose, we have the fructose, we have the galactose, and then we have the disaccharides. That is more chemistry, but I would want you to appreciate what we are talking about, in the sense that the simple ones and the complex ones, there is a reason for you not just to pick anything and be eaten. Food preparation will involve a lot of things, and that's why even the image we showed you is reflecting on certain ingredients coming together to make a meal.
Okay, so just a bit of clarification for viewers to be able to understand. Let's link biochem with regular eating. So you're saying that a complex carbohydrate is better than a simple carbohydrate.
Yes.
It's healthier.
Yes, it's healthier.
Why?
Now, so when you pick something like the simple ones, if somebody should fall right now, if somebody has diabetes and goes into hypoglycemia where they have no glucose in them or sugar in them, and I give that person half bottle of Coke, I can give the person life. So I need to resuscitate the person or make sure the person is cushioned as far as his or her life is concerned at that particular moment, because it's an emergency. So that one
instant dose of simple sugars
into you.
Okay, all right.
Into you, as compared to the complex ones. Now there are lots of chains, and you and me, we don't change, and it has to break down before you get to the simple spot where the body will be able to use it. And so a good example is this plain salad we had on the side. Now, before the breaking down, and a lot of things would need to go into whatever has to happen before assimilation of the nutrients can happen, or before glucose can be used up by the body. And you wouldn't just have glucose sitting in there. Now, fiber in there and a lot of other benefits that it will give to your body. And so it wouldn't just be carbohydrates. It will be you giving your body something. The complex ones, like we explained, are better than the simple ones. They just shoot your blood sugar levels. And carbohydrate has everything to do with your blood sugar level. Now, you have to be careful or mindful, because you don't want sugar spikes. If you are constantly having spikes, you are increasing your chances of being type 2 diabetic. And then you are increasing your cholesterol levels. And cholesterol has everything to do with your cardiovascular health. So if your heart is affected, then it means that there is a reason for us to be concerned. So carbs are important, but we should know how to go about it. In the same way, you shouldn't go, you meet people, they go like, I'm going off carbohydrates. It is not a healthy thing to do, especially my keto people. It is not a healthy thing to do. You need the carbs, so you need to seek professional advice and know exactly which alternatives you can have. So we have high carb foods, we have low carb foods, and we'll go through them more.
So let's look at that, the difference between high carb foods and low carb foods.
Now we have some examples for us to know. So let's start with the high carbs food, so that you will know exactly what not to be taking. White rice. So do brown rice if you can. And for people who struggle with the brown rice, what I normally tell them is that, start off by, let's say, picking half of this and half of that, bring it together, because they want to feel that, they want to have that,
that's the way I do it, because it's not
feeling, because the brown rice, honestly, I won't sit here, I'll put myself in your shoes. It's not easy to do the brown rice on the go. But if you are doing half of that, bringing them together, with time you will be able to reduce the quantity of the refined or the white rice. Yes. And then we have sugary breakfast cereals. Especially the fast foods we love to eat. It will also hurt you in the long run if it continues for a long time. White bread. If you can do baguette, if you can do proper wheat bread, if you can do flaxseed bread, if you go to our supermarkets, you can find examples of the items I'm talking about. Potato chips. There is a reason to be concerned. So those buying one bucket of chips with that chicken, you know what I'm talking about, the red and white people. And then starchy vegetables. Now, this is very dicey, but you should have a way of going about it. In as much as starchy vegetables is of concern, how many of us are really digging in on vegetables like we need to do? So like I said, the example we showed on screen is a classical way to go about your meal or your eating to make sure that you are satisfying every protocol. Cakes with frosting, and then pastries, confectionery. So the sweet, people who love sweets, those are simple sugars sitting in there, so they just shoot glucose into your system like that, and it will hurt you, because excess will be converted into fat, lining in the passageway of blood. With time, it affects your blood pressure, and then hypertension begins to set in. Diabetes, the cousin, can also set in. Now, low carb foods,
yes,
veggies, spinach, excellent, kale, excellent, and then we have high fiber.
So vegetables
fish.
are actually carbohydrates as well.
They have carbs in them.
They have carbs.
They have carbs in them, but they are healthy.
Yeah,
they are healthy. And then we have high fiber foods. No, carbohydrates. When you are even teaching a child what to look out for in a good food, as far as healthy carbohydrate is concerned, go for fibrous foods. Yes. Oats, loaded with fiber, very good. Wheat, loaded with fiber, excellent source of low carbs. Eggs, very low as far as carbs is concerned, and it's amazing because you get protein also sitting in there, so it's great. Whole foods, vegetables, skimmed or low fat dairy. I want to talk about milk because we have milk here. Now, milk contains milk fat, and so that makes it a lot more loaded as far as calories are concerned. And you have to be mindful as far as the caloric count of whatever you are eating is concerned. Most of the popular milks on our markets, we don't read labels, has a lot of saturated fat in there. It is, if a milk is super creamy, there is a problem. The name is Creamy Plus, but I've tried it.
So the yellower the milk,
the more fat, saturated fat, milk fat sitting in there. So it's not because this is cities, but if it's good, I have to let people know about it. Instead of milk fat, this contains vegetable fat. And it's very good as far as your heart health is concerned, in prevention of cardiovascular diseases. Now, milk can even affect how your heart beats. Yes, if you are doing those with a lot of milk fat, that's saturated fat sitting in there. Milk can contribute to your chances of prostate cancer as a man and ovarian cancer in women. So the type of milk you are putting in you can be the reason why you are experiencing this. We had a program yesterday and a lady approached me concerning this ovarian issue, and we were talking about it. Food is very powerful, and this simple item can do a lot of wrong to you. So you need to really be guided and guarded on what you are putting in there. So that is basically example of the low-fat foods. Make sure you plan your meals well. Make sure it has examples of what we have mentioned in there as compared to some of the higher carb foods, because the more you do it, the more you put yourself at risk of some health conditions.
So walk us through a daily meal plan. Let's talk about, let's say, breakfast. We wake up in the morning. Let's put together a meal for breakfast.
That's a spot on thing, but we'll do it. Now, I know you want to do them good. So what we projected is your lunch. So you are not doing lunch. Yes, and then you don't have to chew all the chicken.
The lunch would include, so jollof rice?
Yes.
Or
2
any kind
ladles
of rice?
of that is fine. A dessert bowl of your plain salad. I don't want the dressing. If you are too much of a dressing person, you can use avocado. Because I don't want the whole mayonnaise thing, because avocado is also excellent as far as low carbs are concerned, and so it will do you some good. Or just sprinkle olive oil on your, and it's healthier. So you can do that with, let's say, a drumstick of chicken. You have vegetables in there. You
don't
have
to
have
2 or 3 drumsticks of
Why
chicken?
do you want to do 3?
It's more protein.
More protein. Are you going to grow taller?
No, but I'm going to exercise.
You're going to exercise, so you need to build muscle. You need to do whatever you have to do. Let me tell you, your body will accept it, but if your body doesn't need it, it will find a way of using it against you. If you're lucky, you'll flash it out. So let's say breakfast, I can decide to go for oatmeal. 2 ladles, or this mug, 3 ladles will fit. If you're trying to check your weight, don't do 3. So you do that, and then 4 tablespoonfuls of milk. So we have milk here. Let me use this milk. That is equivalent to a serving, 40 ml. That is it. And then a cube or 2 of sugar. If you have healthier, you can use honey too. If it's for babies, please no. Yes, because of the
no to what?
Babies.
No to honey.
Yes.
For babies.
Yes.
Why?
They can have infections.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You can have infection. Then please, with the milk, this one, if your child is not above 2, don't.
Okay.
Don't give them this milk. We have baby milks. They can take this after 2.
Okay, so this is from
2 going to our grandmothers. Okay. So oatmeal, we have our milk on it. You can go for 2 slices of toasted bread, a slice equivalent to the sardine tin.
Okay.
So the normal slice on the market, like 3 to 4 of them would do for an adult. And then you can have a healthy spread. If you can do it like that, fine. Or you can have a cup of Milo with omelette, 2 slices of bread. That one seems more balanced. And then you have your lunch. You can do a snack of an apple, let's say in between your lunch and then your supper. And supper, I love mpotompoto. I don't know, I love using mpotompoto as an example because it's like a 1-pot dish which is very, very loaded. You can have some mushrooms in there. We are staying away from high carb food, so we use cocoyam.
Okay.
We prefer potatoes.
Okay.
So instead of cocoyam, we would want to use potatoes because cocoyam is very loaded as far as, and when you cook cocoyam, something drastic happens to it. I had a client was doing so well. Then after like 2 months, I observed that this man had a major spike for a week. I just went straight. I was like, ask daddy if he ate cocoyam. He said, oh, 3 days, ni medi cocoyam, sir. So cocoyam has just made everything we did. We've gone back to, so cocoyam is very loaded as far as calories are concerned. So know the kind of root tubers to take. Know the kind of even carbohydrate-rich foods to take. So
when you say potatoes are better, is it the sweet potatoes or regular potatoes?
I love the sweet potatoes, the local ones, the orange flesh, the one from the north. I love that one because it gives you vitamin A, and then it has beta carotene also in there. So vitamin A for your reproductive health, vitamin A for your eye health. Vitamin A has everything to do with your immunity. So when I am picking an ingredient, I want something that will give me more, because if that sweet potato can give you something better than the regular yam, it means that it is a healthier alternative. So I don't know if you have time to go through the health problems associated.
Yes, let's do that quickly.
So now, if you are not checking your glucose, your carbohydrate intake, you spike your glucose levels, you gain weight. So if you are gaining weight so much, there are people whose excuse are, I eat once a day. I don't understand why I'm putting on weight. I eat 4 times a day. Why are you still like that, Akosua? And I go like, sometimes if you should add or sum my 4 up, I won't even meet half of your one. So it's about the portioning and then the ingredients sitting in what you are eating. You gain weight. Type 2 diabetes. You worry yourself, and when you meet people who have been on medication, it's not easy. After 6 months, it's quite difficult. Reversing
I was trying some interesting tricks this weekend. I like to trick my body into doing things, and
you're a biochemist.
So I actually lost half a kilo this weekend eating regularly.
Well done, because Friday I told you your belly was
I just
coming
changed
big.
What it was that was in my food, you know. So I did a little more protein, a little less carbs, a little more veggies, you know, but just switch it up a little bit, you know, and then suddenly just watch the weight going down.
When you play around food, nutrition, like whatever, take this clue. That's what I was studying in school, even catering JSS. Make your plate colorful. Once your plate is colorful, you are not just looking at the white rice sitting on the bowl. You would want something green in there, something orange in there, something yellow in there, something, a lot of colors in there. And that's the way of you ensuring, because when you pick my plate, my plate, we have even that image. When you pick it, the plate is divided into portions, and you should make sure that at a particular moment, this is what is sitting on the plate. So the typical plate, like what we have on this table, can be divided. We have the meat supposed to occupy a certain portion, vegetables supposed to occupy a certain portion, carbs supposed to occupy a certain portion. That is how eating should be done. So let me wrap up with some of the other health issues. Unhealthy fats, that will have everything to do with your cholesterol and then your blood pressure, and then thickened arteries. That is very, 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 very technical. And then poor metabolic health.
Okay.
Now you have a lot of people with metabolic issues. There are a lot of people who have issues with their gastric health. Okay, so I get a lot of gassing, I get a lot of bloating, and it is because of what you are sometimes putting in you.
Yeah.
So it is very important that we pay much emphasis on what we are putting in ourselves. I wanted to, so for metabolism, it will have everything to do with you. If you're having dementia, you need to check what you are eating. If you have you forget, you have brain, something that has everything to do with your memory or your brain health, check the kind of carbs you are eating. If you forget easily, check the carbs you are eating. If you have hypertension, type 2 diabetes, if you have polycystic ovarian, like so I spoke about even the female reproductive health, if you have issues there, and even for the males with your prostate, you need to make sure you are eating the right carbohydrates to make sure you are doing yourself some good. And then we have increased risk of heart issues or heart diseases.
Fantastic. Akosua, how can people reach you? Okay,
so on Instagram you can follow me, you can ask me questions at the Nutritionist Akosua, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosua, and you can WhatsApp me on 0243 350206.
Fantastic.
Thank you for saying
much.
Akosua.
Thank you. Thanks, Abigail. Just before we go for our entertainment highlights, just a quick reminder for you that GT Bank SME Credit, is here to offer you quick loans to help you stock up your shops, clear your goods, implement that new business idea that you may have. Simply dial *737*0#. That's *737*0# to select SME credit and follow the prompts, and you're going to access this flexible loyalty offer at an exceptional rate. Remember that, and you can pay back anytime within the next 6 months.